Hello, welcome to plsql02pro.com. This is Hassan Mir. In this tutorial, I'll explain you the concept of a variable. So what's a variable? Variable is simply a placeholder in the memory. Okay, the placeholder is something that will store some value in it. So you create a placeholder by declaring a variable, then later on you put a value in this placeholder. That's called initialization. You initialize the variable by putting some value in it. So the value goes in the variable so that you can refer to that value anytime later on in the program. Okay, and you can replace the value as well by putting some another value in the variable. Just keep one thing in mind: a variable can only store one value at a time. So if you're putting some other value in the variable, the previous value would be thrown out. So just imagine variable as a box which can only include one item in it at a time. So the new value goes in, the previous value is thrown out. Okay, so for the variable 1 now contains the value 456. So you can declare multiple variables in your program, each variable containing some different value. You can refer to these values in your through other statements in your program. For example, variable first name contains text literal Hassan, and the variable score contains value numeric value 85. So always use single quotes if you're putting text literals in the variable, just like you saw in SQL tutorials. You should give reasonable names to your variables. However, there are some restrictions. The name cannot exceed 30 characters. Name should always begin with a letter. Okay, you cannot begin a variable name with a number. Name can contain alphanumeric characters only. Spaces and reserved operators are not allowed. Okay, actually there are some exceptions to this rule here, that the name should contain alphanumeric characters only. That's what you should stick to though. Okay, but you can put some special characters like number sign and things like that. Names are not case sensitive. Okay, just keep that in mind. The whole PLSQL and SQL language is not case sensitive. The only case sensitive part is the text literal values. Reserved words cannot be used. For example, example of few reserved word is a declare, select is used in select statement. So you cannot use that part in as a variable name, because the compiler will get confused. Are you trying to write a select statement or is it a variable name? So that's why I always prefix my variable name by v underscore to avoid all these problems. Here are a few examples. The legal variable name, v underscore first name. This is what I prefer, and this is a normal standard used by normal convention used by most programmers. Just put v underscore and then variable name. Variable 100 is fine. 100 is like number, but not used in the beginning. It's used at the the beginning of this variable name is a letter though. That's compulsory. You cannot put 1 in the beginning. There will be a problem. Apartment number, like this is what I was talking about. You can use some non-alphanumeric characters here, but you should avoid that as much as you can. So these are a few examples of legal variable names. These are examples of illegal variable name. Variable name cannot begin with a number. It has to begin with a letter. Okay, you cannot use a space in the variable name. First space name is illegal. Select is a reserved word, cannot be used as a variable name. Like plus sign is a non alphanumeric reserved operator, right? You cannot use plus here, for example. So if you start your variable name with v underscore and you don't put any space and just give logical variable names less than 30 characters long, you should be okay. Alright, otherwise Oracle will let you know. So let's do some hands-on. So you understood the concept of a variable. Let me just show you a small PLSQL program that will illustrate the point. So let me just log in. I've logged into my Oracle Express application, so SQL command. So let me write a PLSQL program. So PLSQL program has 3 sections. declare begin and exception. So in this program I'm not going to use exception section. So this is the structure of the program. Good practice, always put a structure first and then fill everything in. So let's declare a variable here, let's say first name. Okay, and this variable can hold varchar2 means this variable can hold alphanumeric values. If this variable will only hold numbers, then you should give a type as number. Okay, so the convention is you write the variable name first, then after a space you give the type to the variable. So the type here is varchar2. It can hold up to 30 a value up to a 30 character long, and you have to put semicolon at the end of each PLSQL command. So we just declared a variable there. Now what we're gonna do in the begin section, this is the program body, the actual commands. In declare section, all you do is declare variables that you will be using in the begin section, okay, in the program body. The first thing what we are doing is we are initializing the variable. We are putting some value in that empty box. So let me put my name there. Okay, so this is like less than 30, that's fine. You must be wondering, why do you have to provide a limit here? Okay, that's how it works, because Oracle, as soon as you declare a variable, Oracle reserves some space in the memory of the computer. So Oracle needs to know how much to reserve, how bigger box Oracle needs to create, because variable is just a box, okay, virtual box in which values will go in. So Oracle has already, like not right now, as soon as you run the program, Oracle will reserve this space. So Oracle needs to know how much space to reserve. So we have initialized the variable. Okay, so this is a symbol here, in which the symbol here to initialize variable, so or to replace value in the variable. So this means we are putting this value in this variable. Okay, so this is an assignment operator in which you are assigning a value to the variable. Now let's see, let's print the value of the variable to the screen, or display the value in the variable to the screen by using this command, dbms output put line. Let's just put a sentence here, is first name is concatenation sign. So what this line is going to do is going to just display this whole text to the screen. And what this text is, the first is a text literal, first name is, then we have a concatenation sign, and then we are basically whatever value this variable has will be concatenated to this text literal, and the whole thing will be displayed on the screen. Okay, so what we should expect on the screen is something, first name is Hassan Mir. That's what we should expect on the screen if I run this program, if it doesn't have any syntax error. So first name is Hassan Mir. Okay, so you saw here an example of a variable. We declare the variable first name, we put a value in the variable called assignment. This is assignment symbol here, but we initialize the variable. Initialization is when you put a value first time in the variable. That's called initialization. And then we tested the value of the variable by displaying it on the screen, and you saw first name is Hassan Mir displayed here. Now let's replace the value in the variable first name. Why should we forget about Larry Ellison? Okay, so now what we are doing at this stage, we are putting a new value in the box that we created in the memory. So Hassan Mir is going to be thrown out, and Larry Ellison will go in, and again we are testing the value of the variable. So now we should see two statements. First name is Hassan Mir, then we should see another statement, first name is Larry Ellison, because when the first statement was executed, the value in the variable was Hassan Mir, and when the next statement was executed, the value in the variable was Larry Ellison. Let's see. Okay, so first name is Hassan Mir, first name is Larry Ellison. So you see an example of declaration of a variable, initialization of the variable, replacing a value in the variable, and we can replace the value multiple times. Let me copy paste. Okay, it's not that you can only replace it only once. Okay, so now Bill Gates is in the picture as well. See, so in the next tutorial we will make things more complicated, and gradually in a step-by-step manner you will become an expert in PLSQL. I see you in the next tutorial.